Hi, welcome to the Planetary Astrology Full Moon Forecast for April of 2024. The moon is waxing, the energy is increasing. How are you feeling? The moon is waxing, and on April 23rd at 4:49 p.m. Pacific time, the moon will reach the end of the Purnima Tithi and then begin to wane again. Feeling unstable or a little bit debased in the last weeks, perhaps really challenged by certain situations that could have maybe put a wrench in your plans or a twist in the plot of your life. We have been through a very transformative month so far. Almost like predestined energy is happening in these weeks since we had the total solar eclipse on April 8th and this Mercury retrograde running since April 1st. Particularly this Mercury retrograde has been bringing up very deep issues. It's not a normal Mercury retrograde. Of course, a lot of the normal Mercury retrograde things can happen, like problems with electronics, problems with travel or communication, misunderstandings, things like this. But also a deeper energy of Mercury is happening here, where it is bringing up very important and core patterns in how you do things or how your relationships are, or even on a physical level, your health. All sorts of things can be coming up that have forced a new understanding of situations or a new perspective on how you want to do things in the future. So this full moon marks a new step in the chapter. There's a lot of things turning around now, including Mercury, which will go direct a few days after this full moon. I'm in Kerala still, in the beautiful ocean here. So this full moon is happening in the nakshatra, the Vedic lunar mansion called Swati nakshatra. Swati is a nakshatra of Vayu, the energy of prana, life energy, or wind, they say. So what's moving, what's keeping us alive, moving. It's interesting because I feel there's a strong connection also to this Mercury retrograde and the prana of life itself, and the ebb and flow of these energies. So the image is a young shoot blowing in the wind. So this flexible and moving force that is actually able to hold on to the earth, to hold on to what is a sense of home or grounding within the fluctuation, within the movement. And so this is a powerful full moon for breath, literally breathing, pranic exercises where you're pranayama. Also feeling a sense of groundedness in the movement of life, finding your center. There's some big gift in this full moon, in that in the change itself, where the impermanent Hey, there's Saturn's bird, Shani. Hi. Swati lies within the sidereal sign of Libra, which is actually where Saturn is exalted, but also where Venus rules. And Venus is actually in a very transformative point on this full moon. She has been exalted in Pisces for the last weeks. But she is right on the final degree of Pisces at the peak of this full moon, the last degree of the zodiac. So it's called Gandanta, the edge point between the end of the water, the moksha, and the new life, the new beginning of Aries, which will begin just shortly after the full moon when Venus transits into Aries. So there's something edgy, something about new beginnings, new chapters with this full moon that we can really take advantage of. There's something that you really want to transform and let go of, something that really came up in this last eclipse season for you. Now is the time for rebirth. One thing that has been happening as we've been going through this volatile and transformative solar eclipse season is that Mars, the planet of war, and Saturn have been together, aligned in Aquarius. There's been some very intense and dangerous influences around war. This is a very militant combination. It's called the Yama Yoga, which means the god of death, as we've definitely seen in the Middle East, an increase in military activity. You know, Mars is leaving on April 22nd from Saturn's influence. So Yama Yoga will be ending just a day before this full moon. So there's a new chapter coming. Of course, Mars is moving across Rahu when he enters Pisces. So there's an element now of still maybe inflamed reaction, reactivity, or maybe also taking it into Rahu is like maybe cyberspace. But I think it's a good sign that this Yama Yoga is coming to an end. It definitely is a time we need to continually pray for peace. Just a couple days after the full moon, on April 25th, Mercury will turn direct. And when he does, he's just less than a degree away from Rahu, the mean node Rahu, which is the eclipse shadow, the one that caused the total solar eclipse on April 8th. So there is still this transformative energy inside of Mercury. There is, I think, a real big possibility for some big learning as we move through the full moon and the days following. Some amazing ideas could come forward in these days, inventiveness, real breakthroughs. So stay open right now. Also, the progressive energy of Jupiter with Uranus, actually, which is an outer planet, which is traditionally used in Vedic astrology, but Uranus is making a very rare transit at the moment, very, very close to Jupiter. Jupiter's transiting over Uranus, I should say. I think this only happens every 14 years or so. And it is a sign of new possibility, new opening, big growth somehow in an unusual way. Jupiter is also moving signs. According to Vedic astrology, Jupiter will enter Taurus on May 1st. And this is going to start a whole new chapter in Jupiter's influence on our lives. Jupiter is the planet of growth, of dharma, of auspicious opportunities and protection. And as he moves into Taurus, issues around wealth, around the common good, around food and agriculture in the collective as well. On a personal level, this can have a big impact on you, especially if you're running a Jupiter dasha or if you have any significant points in Taurus. So if you'd like to find out more about this transit, I am going to do my annual Jupiter transit class, Jupiter in Taurus, which includes horoscopes for all 12 signs, coming up this May. This is a 2-hour class. It does provide time for question and answer. Check it out below. I will leave a link in the description window. So as you can see, April has been a really intense month, and this full moon is sort of a turning point, a breakthrough with a lot of the energy that's been building. Especially, I feel that the sign of Mercury turning direct in this time, and also Venus's kind of in-between stage, where we're starting a new chapter. There's something that might feel predestined about this time, something that might bring in a lot of synchronicities for you, healing wounds from the past, opening up whole new chapters of potential for you, whole new spectrum of awareness, of choices that you can make for yourself that you may not have been aware of before. So take advantage of this time. This is a breakthrough time, a time of powerful transformative change that we're in, moving especially through this full moon and in the weeks that follow. This full moon is also celebrated in India as the Hanuman Jayanti, the birthday of Lord Hanuman, the monkey god, who was the servant to Lord Ram and Sita in the Ramayana. He embodied infinite strength, incredible strength to overcome Ravana, to help to serve Lord Ram and to reestablish Dharma. So Lord Hanuman actually is an amazing remedy for this difficult time, this Mars-Saturn conjunction we've been having when it comes to conflict and war particularly. Hanuman can establish proper boundaries and peace listening to or chanting the Hanuman Chalisa is a really good practice to do as well on this full moon. Okay, so let's just take a look at what the tarot cards have to say about this upcoming full moon in Swati nakshatra. Okay, wow. So the first card that came in is Justice. This is Libra, the Libra card, which is actually what I was just talking about with this full moon in Libra. There's something around finding the balance in the collective here. You know, Venus is the goddess of love and relationships, right? Also financial abundance and creativity. And in her process, as she's moving over this extremely transformative degree of the Gandanta on this full moon, there really is a new structure, possibly opening a new phase in relationships, but also for the collective, also a new possibility for maybe peace, diplomacy, in a different way. Also, this full moon in Swati is connected to this air element, and all of the cards actually are air cards. This Vayu. Lord Hanuman's father is Vayu, the Lord of the wind, the one that rules over this full moon. And he used Vayu, the power of the wind, to fly through the sky, to fly over the ocean to get to Lanka. So finding a way to connect to what's stable even in the difficult times we live in. You know, the young sprout blowing in the wind. Like Hanuman, blowing in the wind, but somehow holding control, finding a way to land in the right place. See her feet just rooted there to the earth. The star is also connected to Venus, that energy of the evening star, the morning star, and actually she is going combust now. She's disappearing from the morning sky and will be returning as evening star soon. Another sign of her rebirth process. By June, July, we will see her in a new form. And so this natural okay. Shani wants, looks like Saturn wants to say something here too. Libra is Saturn's exaltation, but also this is the card of Aquarius, where Saturn, in Vedic astrology, Saturn is in Aquarius now. So we really are getting a lesson from Saturn at the moment about this, about the impermanence, about the nature, the acceptance of the flow of nature, of time. And then finally, another air card, the Eight of Swords. This shows, you know, I think this is speaking a little bit about this Mercury station, because Mercury doesn't go direct till after the full moon. And because of this, there may feel like there isn't a certainty yet, or there's a feeling still of not having clarity in your choices. So allow this time to pass. This is really a mental thing. In the days that follow the full moon, you will naturally see the path that's easiest and clearest. Actually, come forward. Hold fast to what is true, even in the storms of change. There is a higher balance, a karmic balance, always flowing with what is natural. As water flows downward towards the ocean, you are taken to your destination. Even in the face of uncertainty, or a sense of complete disempowerment, a sense of being trapped, a new chapter of ease and understanding is opening before you. Without any effort of your own, trust in the process, and your path will soon be clear. Okay, thanks for coming to an Industry Astrology Full Moon forecast for this April. I do offer one-on-one astrology readings, tarot readings online on Zoom. I'm also giving a class on this new chapter for Jupiter coming up in Taurus in May, so check that out. And get on my newsletter. It's free. I write a lot. I spend a lot of time writing, and so check that out. Also, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I will see you soon.